There's been a record 288 new cases of COVID19 recorded in Victoria, the state's biggest daily total during the pandemic, and the Premier is warning there is worse to come. Community transmission is on the rise, prompting Daniel Andrews to urge all Melburnians and those in the Mitchell Shire to wear masks outside the house. But students will not be asked to wear them at school. 47 people are now in hospital, 12 are in intensive care. Let's take a listen to what the Premier and Chief Health Officer had to say.
We're simply asking that if you can wear a mask where you can't distance, that's exactly what we would like you to do. In a cab, in an Uber, on public transport, maybe at the shopping centre if things were quite busy, then we would ask that you wear a mask. And it can be a homemade mask. We've already begun the process of getting 2 million reusable masks made, and we will be able to then distribute those throughout the community. We'll also in the interim provide up to 1 million additional single-use masks.
The virus is the same. It's as dangerous as it ever was. It's not mutating to be more or less dangerous. But who gets infected manifests in hospital, and who we're seeing in hospital at the moment are the most vulnerable. The ICU numbers have gone up significantly. The hospitalised numbers have gone up significantly. The effect of the lockdown will really only be seen in the numbers in the next 1 to 2 weeks. So we may well get worse numbers to follow.
Health experts say wearing a mask can reduce transmission of the virus by 60%. Let's go live now to reporter Estelle Greepink. Estelle, let's hope this will drastically reduce community transmission.
Certainly, Jack, that is what is hoped. Now, pretty much since the start of the pandemic, there has been a lot of debate as to how masks are effective in preventing COVID-19 or protecting us from it. But now the Premier says we are at the stage where we should all be wearing facial coverings when we leave the house and can't social distance. So that's on occasions where we might be at a busy shopping centre, on public transport or in an Uber, for example. This advice has been backed up by both the state and federal chief medical officers. And the state government says they're already in the process of making about 2 million reusable face masks. In the meantime, they'll be providing about 1 million single-use masks. This is the first time, Jack, that we've received advice like this. Let's take a listen now to what some Melburnians have had to say.
The news flash just came up on my iPad and said that Daniel Andrews has said everyone should wear a mask. So I have gone out and bought a mask because we need to follow the rules because we want to get on top of this as quickly as we can.
It's important, right? I mean, just for helps in social distancing and helps remind you to take care.
I think it makes sense. I think the more we can do to reduce it is going to obviously help in the wider community. 288 cases, I think, it was just expressed, and that's far out, to be honest.
So, Jack, the two masks that we are most familiar with at this stage are the single-use masks and reusable face coverings. But we're also being told we can make our own. The government is putting out information in the next coming days about how we can do that, and there'll also be a video from Brett Sutton. Jack?
Estelle Greepink, thank you very much for the update. Thousands of residents stuck inside their homes in high-rise towers have finally stepped outside for the first time since Saturday. But there are fears for others locked in one particular block as infection rates continue to soar. Blake Johnson is there for us this afternoon. Blake, they're preparing for another long stretch stuck inside.
They are, Jackie. There's more than 400 people in this Alfred Street tower in North Melbourne. They'll be kept inside for another 9 days because of rising case numbers inside their building. But for residents of 8 other buildings nearby in North Melbourne and Flemington, midnight was their first time allowed outside the building since Saturday. About 2,500 residents inside those buildings have now been tested. And from that, 158 positive cases showed up. Those people must stay isolated at home or will be offered hotel quarantine. We heard of relief from freed residents last night and this morning, and there was thanks from one woman who was able to get police to walk her dog while she was stuck inside.
She was the lucky one. She could go out for about 10 minutes every night. Not me. They treated us pretty good. It's not their fault that we got locked down.
Thank you so much for the government. Thank you for everybody you help here.
Unfortunately, it's going to be a long slog for the residents of the tower behind me on Alfred Street. Some have been at their windows today. We heard from the son of one couple inside the building who says that their business is going under, but they can't get out of the building to do anything about it. But with an infection rate inside that tower of around 11% compared to the state average of just 0.3%, health authorities say they want to make sure everyone in that tower is healthy before they reopen it. Jackie?
Yeah, such a tough time ahead. Thank you very much. Blake Johnson there.